Yo, what up, tone chasers? Welcome back to Diamondback Recording Studio, where we spend more time tweaking knobs than playing guitars. Today we're diving into the black magic of reamping. Reamping. That secret sauce that'll get your guitar tone so perfect, it'll make your bandmates jealous and your neighbors file a complaint. If you ever spend hours wondering why your rig sounds like a kazoo, this video's for you. Stick around, because we're about to make your DI tracks sound like they were forged in the halls of Valhalla. Let's do this. First things first, let's talk about the unsung hero of guitar recording, the DI track. This is your guitar's raw, unfiltered soul captured through the pickups using a little DI box like this bad boy. Looks boring, right? But this little box is the reason you don't have to come back and re-record your guitar solo when your amp sounds like a chainsaw. When we're tracking guitars here at Diamondback Recording Studio, we always like to grab a DI along with our amp recordings. Why? Because even the best guitarists and their egos sometimes need a second chance. A DI track lets us fix timing, tweak gain, or completely rethink our tone without having to bribe the guitarist back with pizza. And with those crisp transients in the DI, makes it a lot easier for editing, and then you don't have to explain to your mom why you spent $500 on a pedal that makes your guitar sound slightly angrier. Another fun fact, if you're using amp modeling, you're already creating a DI track. Just turn off them plugins and voila! And with that, you're halfway to tone nirvana. So you've got your DI track, now what? You can slap some plugins on it, call it a day, but what kind of fun is that? So enters reamping. Taking that sterile DI track, sending it through your pedal board, into your amps, into some cabinets, mic'd really well, and you're chasing your tone dreams. Or at least a tone that doesn't make you sound like the next guy. Here's how it works. We take that DI track from your DAW, send it through a reamp box like this one, which is basically a translator that turns your nerdy computer talk into guitar talk, also known as a high Z signal. This thing's not winning any beauty contest, but is the key to unlocking endless tone chasing possibilities. From the reamp box, you can go straight into an amp, hit a pedal board first, or in our case, route it through our fancy Delisle amp cabinet switcher. Because why settle for one amp when you can have them all? This next graphic's for the nerds like me. We've mapped out all our gear we'll be using to create new tones. This diagram shows amps and their settings and specs. Cabinets and their specs including speaker type, impedance, wattage, and mic type used with their specs. I've already taken a lot of the guesswork out of this mad science. Why bother with reamping? Oh, let me count the ways. First, no guitarist required. Your DI track is the performance, so you don't need to bribe your guitarist with more pizza to come back for another take. Secondly, consistency. You get the exact same performance every time, so you can focus on making the tone like a dragon breathing fire instead of a cat in heat. Third, messed up on the original amp capture? No problem. Reamping lets you try again without selling your soul to the gear gods. And finally, endless tone chasing. You can swap amps, pedals, mics, and cabinets until you find a sound that's so good it'll bring tears to your eyes. All right, let's get our hands dirty. Here's a DI track we recorded for an upcoming Ancient Cross release. Sounds like that guitar forgot how to rock, right? It's 440 tuning, no effects, no plugins, just raw, unadulterated sadness. I'm sending this DI track out of output 3 on my interface through a TRS balance cable to the Reamp box. From there, it's converted back to a high Z signal, ready to hit our pedal board, and then the Delisle amp cabinet switcher. We've got all our amps warmed up. All the knobs are in a neutral position, straight up as a starting point. And we're going to start with the Engel Savage Mark III today. It's being fed to an Engel 212 in there, loaded with Celestial Vintage 30s, because you know, we like our tone to sound like it could melt faces. Now let's loop this DI track and start chasing tone. I'm cranking up the gain on the Engel because subtly is overrated, and maybe tweaking on the TS9 tube screamer for that extra snarl. Then I'm tweaking the lows, the mids, and the highs on the amp. Too boomy? Dial back the lows. Sound like a wasp in a jar? Ease off the highs. Oh, and let's not forget the mics. We've got a Shure SM57, the duct tape of guitar mics, and an AKG C414 on this cabinet. I'm moving the SM57 around to find the sweet spot, because apparently cabinets have feelings and don't like to be mic'd in the wrong place. For extra vibe, we've got a pair of Warm Audio WA44 ribbon mics, because who doesn't want their tone to sound like it's floating on a cloud? Now let's talk about what makes Diamondback the tone-chasing mecca. Our Delisle amp and cabinet switcher. This thing is like a tone buffet. You pick any amp, any cabinet, and mix and match until your ears fall in love. You want the Bogner Ecstasy 101B with the Mesa 412? Done. How about a Friedman BE 100 Deluxe with the Soldano 412 cab? Why not? We've also got the Mesa Dual Rectifier, Soldano Avenger, and the classic Marshall JCM 900 for when you want to summon the spirit of 80s hair metal. Our pedal board's no slouch either. We've got the Ibanez TS Tube Screamer, Soldano Super Lead Overdrive, and a TC Electronic Sentry Gate to keep your tone tighter than your band's rehearsal schedule. And if your amp sounded like a jet engine, our Universal Audio aux box attenuator lets us crank to 11 without waking up the dead. And then there's the mic closet, because apparently we collect mics like the drummer collects beer steins. We've got the Shure SM57 for that classic crunch, the MD421 for that meaty low, the WA44s for that room airiness, the Sennheiser E609, the Sennheiser E906, the Audix i5, the Nexadyme by Shure, the Audio-Technica ATM25, and the AKG C414 are just some of the mics we like to use when miking guitar cabinets. All these mics run through preamps like the Warm Audio WA73 or the Universal Audio 4-710D, because the preamp is the difference between meh and my ears are in love. So there you have it, Reamping at Diamondback Recording Studio, where we chase guitar tone like your bass player chases fat girls at the end of the night. Whether you're tweaking mics, swapping amps, or piling on the pedals, Reamping lets you sculpt the sound that is uniquely you. Got a DI track laying around? Bring it to us. Need to track guitars? We've got axes and quite a few tunings ready to go. Or we'll fix your guitar's intonation so it stops sounding like a banjo. Check out DiamondbackRecordingStudio.com for more info. If this video helped you see the light or hear the tone, smash that like button like it was a power cord. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss on the next time we jump off into gear nerdery. Know a guitarist who's plugging straight into a practice amp and calling it tone? Share this video and save their soul. Until next time, keep chasing that guitar tone, and maybe one day we'll all sound as good as we think we do.
A shadow falls upon the line, a darkness